You're listening to the S3 podcast, our basketball show because it's Friday. It's Friday. Gonna get down on Friday. Why the hell did that just pop in my head?
I don't know.
You know what? From now on, I'm just sticking to the shit that I wrote down because that just freaked me out. Oh my God. Seriously? And you're still in the house. So, I mean, you should have known.
I almost bolted. I'm not gonna lie. That song might be a deal breaker for me.
Oh my God. Welcome everybody that's watching on our YouTube channel and our Facebook pages. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We're only like 5 from 50, which is awesome. Also, veterans out there, first off, it's Veterans Day weekend. I'm an Army veteran. Shout out to my veteran friends, my brothers, my sisters out there. And it's also, of course, the Marine Corps birthday. So happy birthday to Jarheads out there. We love you guys. Big idea a little bit, but we love you guys. With that being said, we're giving away some free gear to our veterans. Make sure you go on to the S3 Podcast Facebook page. If you're a veteran, check out the Veteran Boss post. Give me a hooah, give me an oorah, give me a Go Army Beat Navy. That's going to enter you into our giveaway for next week's show. We're going to get you, we're giving away a mystery box for No Boss, No Rush gear, specifically our Veteran Boss and our camouflage gear, camouflage logo gear for No Boss, No Rush. So it could be a hat, could be a cup, could be a hoodie, could be a t-shirt, could be something for your dog to wear, which I'm not a big fan of dressing up dogs. I know, Lady M, you are. Me, I'm not. With dogs that being said, we're gonna put all the names in a hat and we're gonna draw next week at halftime of our show. If this is your first time listening to the show, we break it up into 4 quarters so we can have halftime drawing. So that's pretty cool. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. What are we starting out with?
First quarter headlines and horrible dad jokes.
Hey, we warned you ahead of time. Look, you have no excuse. If you're still here after the first one, then you just deserve whatever you get. Headline number 1, Nuggets all-star point guard Jamal Murray likely out 3 to 4 weeks with a right hamstring strain. Murray was hurt last Saturday, I believe, in the win over the Chicago Bulls. For all you fantasy players, look at veteran guard Reggie Jackson. I've already seen him lead that offense. I think he had like 5 or 6 assists and whatnot. So he's definitely a more affordable fill-in. He's not going to put up Jamal Murray stats, but if you're doing any single game, any showdown games on like DraftKings DFS or something like that, picking him up will get you some points and will give you the room to pick up more high-profile players as well, maybe 1 or 2 more. For that contest. First joke, Lady M, how many apples can you grow on a tree?
I have no idea.
All of them. Oh. It's the only way to grow an apple, babe. Only way to grow an apple is on a tree. All right. Next up, headline number 2. Miami Heat's Tyler Hero has a grade 2 ankle sprain. He's out at least 2 weeks. Look at Josh Richardson, and I'm thinking a little bit more Duncan Robinson for your fantasy team for your DFS rosters. Robinson, if you like somebody that shoots a 3, and he's always been somebody who'll just throw it up there at any point in time. Give him a little bit of room. He's on it. All right, so I walked into work, and my boss told me in passing to have a good day, so I went home. Headline number 3. They're opening. You're going to love this. I should have kept this for the last headline. They are opening a LeBron James museum in Akron, Ohio. Are you intrigued?
That man's ego is big enough.
That's the first word that came to mind is ego.
Ego.
When I heard this. Like, I'm a big fan of him off the court. I think he's a great dad. He's setting a pretty good example. I don't agree with absolutely everything he does, but I don't agree with absolutely 100% of anything any of my friends do. So,
Right.
I mean, but yeah, this screams ego. I am not a fan of him when it comes to the game of basketball. I'm just not like, seriously. I mean, can you see us using points to go and find? I don't even know if Akron has a 5-star hotel, but can we use points to stay at a 5-star resort to travel to go and see the LeBron James Museum?
No.
Are you going to load up like it? Like, do you know anybody that's like, hey, kids, this summer, we were going to do Disney World. Scratch that. We're going to the LeBron James Museum in Akron, Ohio.
I'm a Michael Jordan fan, as you know. If there was a Michael Jordan museum, even if it was in Chicago and we wanted to go to Chicago, I'm not sure I would want to go to a museum for just one person. I'd be more likely to go to a team museum that showed a lot of the great players, or
the Hall of Fame. We travel to go to the Hall of Fame.
Would be an excellent one because then you get to see everybody.
Yeah, I'm not traveling. I see that. I mean, how much business do they need to stay open? That's my question. How are they going to stay open past like the first year or two? Because
his fans are almost a cult.
That's true. That's true. There's no talking any sense into them.
It happen. It'll last for a little bit, but unless you get people that want like season passes every year, eventually everybody that wants to have seen it is gonna have seen it. And then where will you be?
My nephew, unfortunately, this is what I get for living away from my family. It's my fault. He is a huge LeBron James fan.
Yeah.
Like there is no, like you can bring up stats. You can bring up the fact that every 2 feet away from the rim he gets, his shooting percentage drops drastically.
Right.
Because he's a layup professional.
Right.
That's where, and they're like, oh, he shot 50%. 9 out of 10 of his shots were layups. You're supposed to shoot that much, if not better than that. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, yay or nay? Are we not going to go to this museum?
Nay. No.
All right, yeah, I'm not in on this museum at all.
Not a chance.
I've heard that it takes guts to be an organ donor. Hey, look, we told you. They're horrible jokes. All right. Headline number 4, Brooklyn Nets guard Cam Thomas will be out at least 2 weeks with a left ankle sprain. Fantasy players look at Dennis Smith Jr. to get more playing time. Nets are just injury plagued right now so far for this season. Ben Simmons is out. Their athletic center, Nick Clayton, is out. Now Cam Thomas, obviously, for 2 weeks. Nets actually played the Celtics tonight. So it's not a bad thing for Celtics. I mean, we need to get back. We've lost 2 in a row. So the Celtics need to get back into it and get back on the winning streak. That game, by the way, the Celtics is the first game on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern time. That's 5:30 our time. So we'll be watching that game.
Watch it.
Yeah, we can watch that game because we're not paying for this stupid NBA package.
No.
So, no. All right, last joke. I had a girlfriend once that accused me of cheating.
Yeah.
Told her she sounded just like my wife. And that was headlines with horrible dad jokes.
That's awful.
Love it. What's next?
Second quarter in-season tournament schedule for tonight.
You kicked my ass last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I got them. I think I got them all. I want to say I had 6. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. Like it was pretty good. Like I know I lost. I don't know by how much, but I know I lost in the first week. This is a season-long thing or a tournament-long thing, I should say.
It was really close. I got 6, but you had 5.
There were only 7 games.
I picked the Grizzlies, and you picked the Trailblazers, and the Grizzlies won.
I got you.
That's what got you.
I see. All right. Memphis finally won a game. Jesus. All right. So let's go over the schedule here. We got the 76ers at 6-1, at the Detroit Pistons at 2-7. The Pistons have only won 22% of their home games since the start of last season. So 22%. Wow. So I'm probably leaning Sixers in this one. Just saying. Cunningham's pretty good. I mean, he's exciting to watch. But, I mean, the 76ers, you got Joel Embiid, you got Maxey that's come from out of nowhere. Harden left. Maxey's going to be an all-star, apparently. So I like the Sixers in that game. Next game up, Hornets 2-5 at the Wizards, also 2-5. But the Hornets are 1-4 in their last 5 games. You got Hayward, you got Ball. I like Ball. I put him on, as a matter of fact, no, I'm not going over that tonight. It's on the website. If you go to CoachJeffDemers.com on the sports page and go down, you will see the picks that I did for the 9-game slate tonight. I got Ball as my point guard, but we'll go over DraftKings DFS in the third quarter. Moving on, the Nets 4-4 with all their injuries. We already said at the Celtics 5-2. Nets are actually 3-1 on the road this season, but I just think that they got too many injuries to their starters to be able to go into Boston and take down the Celtics. Yeah. Celtics better not lose this game. Speaking of injuries, Pelicans 4-4 at the Rockets of 4-3. Now the Pelicans are 6-2 versus the Rockets in the last 2 games. I think they've got enough with Zion Williamson and Ingram. I think they've got enough to be able to win this game. So I like that move. Next game, the Jazz at 2-7 at your Grizzlies with their only freaking win, 1-7.
The one I somehow called.
The one that you picked.
They're the Lions for me this season.
This is how you transfer from hating on the Packers and everything and being right all the time you pick against the Packers. Now you're just right all the time when you pick the Grizzlies to win. Awesome.
Every now and again, I get the underdog just exactly right.
Memphis is actually favored in this game by 5.5. So, I mean, it's a good time to pick them. It's a good time to pick them. All right, next game. Timberwolves at 5-2 at the Spurs 3-5. Minnesota's won 4 of the last 5 games. The Minnesota Timberwolves with their twin towers and their stellar front court play, or back court play, they're going to be dangerous. They actually gave the Celtics their first loss of the season. The Celtics have lost 2 now, but they were the first team to beat them. And it happened on the exact same day that I was bragging about how the Celtics were undefeated.
That's what happens when you pull that brag card out. You can't do it. Remember the Cardinals guy? 4 wins.
Yeah.
And it ended up being all they won.
4-0. We're 4-0. Then you go like 9-27 the next 3 seasons. Awesome. All right, moving on. Next game. Clippers 3-4 at the Mavericks 6-2. If the late game wasn't the Lakers and the Suns, and I want to cheer for the Suns and watch them beat down the Lakers, like I would want to see this game. Clippers 3-4 at the Mavericks 6-2. Despite the record, I think the Clippers can hang with this, but the Mavericks are 3-1 at home. They're a tough out. I think the Clippers can hang. I don't even know what the spread is in this game, but I'm definitely going to look at it. I'm going to be doing my halftime bets all night anyway. But I think the Clippers can hang in this one. I think so. The Lakers and the Museum at the Suns 4-4. Lakers are 3-5. Suns 4-4. The Suns are 6-2 in the last 2 years against the Lakers. And they're at home. Nobody likes LeBron James' ego right now, so we're cheering on the Suns. See what happens. Thunder at 5-3 at the Kings 3-4. The Kings are 6-1 versus OKC in their last 2 seasons. So the Kings have kind of owned them, but I don't think they have Fox. I don't think the Kings have Fox tonight. Honestly, I don't think they'll need him. The better record is in OKC, but I think the Kings probably pulled this one off in a close one. All right, what's next?
Were we going to do our picks?
We are doing our picks. It's my turn first. I'm not used to this. Okay. Well, we're doing game by game anyway. All right. Yeah. So 76ers at Pickens. Pistons I'm taking the 76ers in this one. I don't see any way the Pistons actually win this game.
I completely agree on that
one.
All right.
Got the Hornets at the Wizards. Hornets are 1-4 in the last 5 games. I am taking the Wizards to pull this one out. Even though I spent a lot of time talking about how good I think that the Hornets can be, I'm taking the Wizards at home.
I wanted the Wizards too. I got a feeling about it.
You're just going to just keep riding my tail on this one. All right.
Maybe.
No individuality at all. All right.
We're pretty in sync when it comes to basketball, as we found out last week.
Let's see if we pick different on the third one. The Nets are 4-4 at the Celtics 5-2. I'm taking the Celtics. You?
I would have still taken the Celtics.
You just ride my coattails this
overall.
week, trying to protect your lead.
Nets injuries on top of it.
All you're doing is trying to protect your lead. Unbelievable. Afraid to step outside the box. Pelicans at 4-4 at the Rockets 4-3. I'm taking the Pelicans in this one.
See, I'll go Rockets. This one feels like a coin toss to me anyways.
This is a coin toss. It absolutely is 100%, but I'll take the Pelicans. You're taking the Rockets. All right. Jazz 2-7 at the Grizzlies. I'm taking the Jazz.
I'm taking the Grizzlies.
They are favored. I'm taking the I'm trying to do the upset here. So that's probably it. Like, I pick against the Grizzlies again. Grizzlies are going to win. All right. That's the formula. Timberwolves 5-2 at the Spurs. I'm taking the Timberwolves. I love the rookie Wembanyama. I like watching him. I like everything about him. He doesn't have great games, struggled in the last game, but I'm taking the Timberwolves in San Antonio. Who do you got?
Yeah, I definitely think the Timberwolves are going to beat the Spurs.
Yeah, I think their Twin Towers are going to be too much, even for the rookie. Wembanyama probably finished with like 15 and 6, maybe. That's 15.6 rebounds, maybe an assist, maybe a block. But yeah, I've got the Wolves. Clippers 3-4 at the Mavericks. This one I'm on the fence about because James Harden joined the Clippers. James Harden looked pretty good on the Clippers. At the Mavericks, I am taking the Clippers in this one to beat the Dallas Mavericks on the road in Dallas. Who do you got?
I will take the Mavericks.
They're 3-1 at home. That is the smart move. Apparently, I just want to, build that deficit, go in reverse for a little bit, let you build your lead, and then I'm just going to pop back the last 2 weeks of the tournament, apparently.
That's normal. That's how it always goes.
The Lakers at the Suns, like, I could say Lakers at anybody, and I think we would probably pick anybody.
Just about.
Like, am I accurate on this? I'm taking the Suns. Are you taking the Suns? All right, we're taking the Suns. Thunder 5-3 at the Kings 3-4. The records say the Thunder's a better team. I'm taking the Kings.
Okay. I'm going to stick with Thunder.
You're going to take the Thunder.
I am. Have
you been thunderstruck? That's the question. The hell is Thunderstruck anyway? I mean, I love the song and everything, but let's break down the actual definition of Thunderstruck.
I think it's supposed to be like a
struck by thunder. How are you struck by thunder? That's the question. Great song.
Should be.
Don't try to pick it apart though. What's next?
Third quarter DraftKings DFS build for tonight and best bets.
All right, so I picked the showdown game, DFS for the Lakers at Suns. Davis is questionable, so you might need to check your lineup about an hour before. I've got him in my lineup. So the showdown DFS at the captain spot, I've got Hachimura for the Lakers at 6,900. I've got Anthony Davis. Putting Hachimura in the captain spot gives you the opportunity to put all the big names in to your roster. If you take a big name and you move him up to the captain spot, you're paying 1.5 times for him his normal value. Then you got to leave one of the big names out because you just can't afford them. So I got Hachimura for the Lakers up there at 6,900. He had 24 points in his last game. If he can do that for me at the captain spot, that would be awesome. I've got Anthony Davis. Again, he's questionable, but he's 9,600. Even a questionable Anthony Davis needs to be on your roster. That's all I could say about that. I've got Kevin Durant for the Phoenix Suns at 9,800. I've got Le Museum for the Lakers at 9,200. I don't know why I put Phoenix next to his name, but he's on the Lakers. Last time I checked. Although with him, you never know. He just be like, hey, I'm gonna go play with my friends over here and go to his 19th team, and then talk about how awesome he is. I've got Nurkic for Phoenix at 6,800, and I've got Russell for the Lakers at 6,600. I think that's a solid lineup. Hachimura, captain, Davis, Durant, James, Nurkic, and Russell. I do have a single game parlay to play tonight. I think it's pretty decent. It sounds very doable, which is why the odds are not that high. I've got LeBron James over 25.5 points, Kevin Durant over 29.5 points because no Devin Booker. So look for Durant to do the majority of the scoring. I also have Durant over 1.5 3-pointers, and I've got Anthony Davis, as long as he plays, under 11.5 rebounds. He does have the ankle issue. So if he plays, maybe he's going to be a little off, but I'll take 10 rebounds. I got him under 11.5 rebounds. So again, LeBron James over 25.5 points, Kevin Durant over 29.5 points, Kevin Durant over 1.5 3-pointers, and Anthony Davis under 11.5 rebounds tonight. That's at plus 600. So you bet $1, you get 7 back, basically is what it is. Bet 10, you get 70. That's a decent bet. All right. What's next?
Fourth quarter basketball origins, the Phoenix Suns.
We're trying to kiss a little ass here because for the football show, we pretty much destroyed our love from the Cardinals fans over the last 2 years, even though we did.
Their history is what their history is. I didn't write the history.
Hey, but you're not supposed to be honest. That's the thing.
I'm supposed to dress it up a little bit, make it prettier.
Apparently, because that's what they do. That's what they do here. This is why we're going to win tonight. Oh, we lost by 7 touchdowns. Damn it. All right. Phoenix Suns basketball origins. Lady M, take it away.
Quick little side note. Just while I was doing all of my research and stuff, every time we have a really good upswing, it seems to be specifically attributed to players. So you're just going to hear that correlation a lot as I go through the thing. We're kind of in a always the bridesmaid, never the bride type of situation. Like the Suns have been historically almost from the start pretty decent, like regularly getting into the playoffs, but fortunately we don't do much more than that. All right. Yeah. So the Suns were founded as an expansion team in 1968. They were the first major professional sports franchise in Phoenix and remained so for nearly 20 years, which makes sense because we just learned the Cardinals came here in 1988. The Suns played their first 24 seasons at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. So supposedly it was nicknamed the Madhouse on McDowell. I've lived here since 1990. I have never heard anybody call Veterans Memorial that ever. But I wanted to bring it up because the internet was pretty convinced that was a real thing. I was like, all right, all my other locals are going, what?
Maybe to the old people.
In the 60s and 70s, sure. I guess it could have been.
All right.
So the Arizona Republic held a name the team contest in which the Suns were chosen from 28,000 entries. The winner got $1,000 in season tickets. And I thought, that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
From a contest to the Arizona Republic. It's our big newspaper out here for anybody that doesn't know. A commercial printing plant owner from Tucson named Stan Fabe designed the first iconic Suns logo. So the lovely basketball that's on fire. That's probably still my favorite.
Wow. All right.
They had originally hired like a professional artist to do it and paid him $5,000 and they hated the results. And then they went to Stan down in Tucson, gave him $200 and they got the logo that we're still basing our logo off that today.
Stan down in Tucson. I love it.
So barring a brief attempt with a sunflower costume, which I cannot even picture or imagine, by the way, the Suns had no mascot for their first 11 seasons. This changed when a messenger for Eastern Onion, a singing telegram service, delivered a telegram at Veterans Memorial Coliseum dressed as a gorilla. As he began to leave, Coliseum security suggested he do a few dances underneath the basket during a timeout, and fans just freaking loved it, like went nuts for it. So the actual guy and the original guy in the gorilla suit, Henry Rojas, just kept coming to games in a gorilla suit until they finally officially named him.
That's how the gorilla came to?
That's how the gorilla came about. So the gorilla is nicknamed Go, and he even has a fictional background story. So it's stuff like he's from the Banana Republic and he earned an education at Furman University. But the gorilla mascot stuck. That's still a thing for anybody that's curious. The very first Suns game I ever went to, I got a cut that had the gorilla wearing a jersey on it. But that's how it started. Like, how random and crazy is that? Love it. All right, so Jerry Colangelo was hired as the team's general manager basically right from the start in 1968. We stole him from the Chicago Bulls. He stayed in this role until 1995, which is why I chose to bring it up, because he's huge. Like, anybody that's in the Valley has heard this name more likely than not. He's huge in Valley sports. He's dabbled in all of it, not just the Suns. His son took over the role, and his son didn't leave till 2006. So from 1968 till 2006, the Colangelo family was instrumental with the Phoenix Suns. I've met Jerry, by the way. He is a really, really nice guy. Super decent.
I've met him too, yeah.
Loves talking to people about basketball and the Suns. Good guy.
Yeah, he's got a resort out here. The Wigwam is his.
Oh, is it? I didn't. I've even stayed there. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Neat. In 1976, they appeared in the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him?
Widely considered as one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. Basically, they were terrible, and then all of a sudden they were in the playoffs. And there was a lot of drama of reading about those playoff games too. I didn't want to get into all that because it was a lot of like, this person shot and pushed this person, and I'm not going to remember all that. So this was heavily attributed to Dick Van Arsdale, Alvin Adams, and Paul Westphal. He was a player during this time. The series included a triple overtime game with a devastating loss for the Suns. So the Suns are not scandal-free. In 1987, there were 13 indictments were made through Maricopa County Attorney's Office on drug-related charges. 3 of those indictments involved active players on the team. So apparently it was another team member that was the main witness who offered a testimony in exchange for immunity. And it's considered, in general, like none of these players actually even served time. One had probation. The other 2 had to do prosecution diversion program, whatever that is. Yeah, I've never heard of it before.
Community service, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. It is still considered controversial today. Like, when I read about it, they use the term witch hunt a lot. So I'm not even sure how real some of it really was. But at that time in the 80s, it tarnished the team's reputation both locally and nationally, which took a huge hit. Around the same time, our forward, Nick Vanos, died in a plane crash. So Northwest Airlines flight 255. That ended up being such a huge loss for the team that Jerry Colangelo was able to kind of sneak in and buy it with a group. So at that point in 87, he actually became owner.
Oh, okay.
In 1988, we picked up Kevin Johnson, who we all called KJ. I almost forgot his actual name because I was so used to KJ. When I was reading it, eventually my brain went, oh, that's KJ. Okay. He was our point guard for 11 seasons. We ended up having a franchise record run of 13 consecutive playoff appearances during his time frame. In 1992, the Suns got their own arena. At that time, it was called America West Arena. So sometimes I still call it that because that's just what I grew up with and what I'm used to. Otherwise, I'll call it the Suns Arena. I am not keeping track of all these stupid bullshit corporate names. I bitch about it every time. You all know about that by now.
Yep.
I also heard another weird nickname. So I heard it was called the Purple Palace because of the purple seats, but I have literally never actually heard that in real life. That says
nope.
like the Madhouse on McDowell. I've never heard either of those things, you guys. I don't know where that came from. I was here for all that. I don't remember Purple Palace.
All right.
In the 92-93 season, the Suns won 62 games, which was setting a franchise record. In 1993, the end of that season, they appeared in the NBA Finals against the Chicago Bulls. So this one was attributed to KJ, Dan Marley, and Charles Barkley, among others. This series also included a triple overtime game with a devastating loss to the Suns. I distinctly remember because that was the game that won the Bulls the finals. It was like a half-court desperate shot with only seconds left on the clock that somehow went in and won the Bulls the game. It was crazy. It was a bit devastating as a fan, honestly.
The Suns at the time for that year, they were like the greatest offensive team of all time.
Yeah.
Right? They just happened to run into a defensive juggernaut and, the greatest player of all time in Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the formula, if it had been anybody else, that would have been our finals for sure.
Yep.
So the 2 triple overtime games are the only ones in NBA history for the finals.
Wow.
The Suns had both of them. All right, in 1996-97 season, the Suns had a terrible start after Barkley was traded. We went 0 wins, 13 losses for a franchise record for the worst start. The coach at the time stepped down and former player Danny Ainge took his place. So there was an on-the-court altercation between him and a player that led to a bunch of player trades also around that same time. And we suddenly went from 0 to 13 to having an 11-game winning streak that sent us to the playoffs, where we almost upset the Sonics.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. That's a hell of a turnaround. You got to give them that.
Yeah.
So in 2004, Jerry Colangelo sold the Suns to an investment group. It was a bit confusing. They're either San Diego based or Tucson based, and they have since sold it to someone else. The current owner, Kevin Durant. Am I getting that right? I don't even know.
Kevin Durant's a player.
Whoever it is that owns it now. So Jerry Colangelo owned the Suns from 1987 to 2004. Just to put a little more spin on why that man is important in the Valley. In 2006, they appeared in the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs. This one was widely attributed to Steve Nash, Sean Marion, and Amar Stoudemire, all names.
Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah. Stoudemire. Side note, the best part is we actually had Nash in 96 and 98 and just apparently didn't use him properly. We traded him away. So we got him back in 2004, and the impact he made on the team from 2004 to 2012 is generally referred to as the Steven Nash era. Everything I read. So I guess I'm glad we got him back because we apparently biffed it pretty bad in the beginning there.
Yep.
In 2021, they again appeared in the NBA Finals. It's also the last time we were there, to my knowledge, which was attributed to Chris Paul and Devin Booker in this case. It was actually the first time they'd even made the playoffs since 2010 when we were just there.
Mm-hmm.
And we just traded Chris Paul to the Warriors. That's my own note. So I guess we'll see what happens. That was a continual pattern. We'd do really well. We'd have a bunch of times where we went to the playoffs back to back. We'd get to the finals. We'd lose in the finals. They'd gut the team. Just immediately, completely gut the team. And personally, I don't know if I said it on the show, but I know I hate that. If you've got a good enough team that's getting to the playoffs regularly that actually gets to whatever the end game for that season is, you don't gut the team. Rework it, You do some weeding. You change the plays around. You investigate what's going on, but you don't get rid of everybody and start from scratch. How is that going to work out? You almost had the title. You just got to tweak it a little bit so you can get there the next year.
Yep.
That's enough of that rant. Sorry. All right, fun facts. So I feel like you can't really have talked about the Suns without at least mentioning their Hall of Fame radio announcer, Al McCoy, who is the longest tenured broadcaster in NBA history. So his original broadcasts were simulcast on TV and radio. They went from 1972 to 2003, at which point he became exclusive to the Suns radio network. He was still announcing games just last season. I don't know if he's been doing any this season, but
no, he's retired.
He is retired now.
Yep, he is now retired.
All right. His nickname is the voice of the Suns. He called 3 of the 4 appearances the Suns had in the finals. So in 1976, 1993, and 2021, he was the one calling that. So sportsteamhistory.com, I'm mentioning them specifically because they were the only ones that said it. Sorry, fans. Considers the Suns to be one of the most successful teams in NBA history. They have made 21 playoff appearances and won 6 division titles. Just never getting that big ending that we need.
Yeah.
The Suns own the NBA's 5th best all-time winning percentage, and they have the 2nd highest winning percentage of any team to never have won an NBA championship. And my last little side note is still about Steve Nash. I'm a big fan, by the way. Steve Nash was awarded a consecutive NBA Most Valuable Player awards for the 04-05 season and again for 05-06. He is the 2nd point guard after Magic Johnson to win that award for consecutive seasons.
Yeah, he shouldn't have won the second NBA
you don't think so?
MVP. No, I mean that was Kobe's year. I think it was more of a popularity contest. Kobe should have won his second year.
You could argue a lot of those are more about popularity contests than.
Yeah. Great job though in the history of the Suns. Yeah, again, just can't win it all. I mean, sorry.
They got to stop the gut. They got to stop that bleed. Every time we'll almost get there and we immediately just cut everybody. That's obviously not working.
Well, let's see if the Devin Booker.
It hasn't worked.
Yeah, let's see if the Booker and Durant matching can actually work this season. I honestly don't know. I just don't know. But that's it for our show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you miss any of our past recordings, you can always listen to the audio of the podcast on heroesmediagroup.com and on Spotify. Check it out on CoachJeffDemers.com under the sports page. They will be posted there as well. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to those that have checked in with us. Don't forget, we're giving away free gear from No Boss No Rush to veterans on check out the post on the Veteran Boss post on our Facebook page. If you're a veteran, go on that post, give me a hooah or an oorah or something that says you're a veteran, and we will add you to the free drawing for our football show on Wednesday. We'll be doing that live at halftime. So if you're a veteran, make sure you go on there and acknowledge, and we'll send you a box of goodies. Could be a hat, could be a shirt, could be a hoodie, it's a mystery box. So it's a mystery to me right now. I don't even know what the hell we're going to send you, but we're going to sell you something. Definitely. So make sure that you put your name on that post to sign up. That's it for me, Lady M. You got anything?
Nope, that's it.
All right, let's make some money tonight. Let's do it. Take